Hey, it's Johara. Welcome back to my channel, to The Witchy Reader. So I'll be talking about my December wrap up. And I actually read so much. This is the most I read in 1 month in a long time. Heck, this was the most I read in 1 year in a long time, and that is because of this month. I'm not even joking. Like I think in November I set my reading goal lower to 64, and then the very beginning of December I reached it, and then I somehow got to 100 by the end of the year. How did that happen? I do not know, but it did. um, and so I'm gonna try to not get too into a lot of these just because um it's gonna be really long if I did that. Like, oh my gosh, I read so much. So part of the reason why I was able to read so much is because I read a lot of comic books. A lot of comic books. I was trying to get into the After I Lost Airbender comic books, and I started the Legend of Korra ones. I have a couple on hold on Libby, so I'm waiting for those. But yeah, um, so that's mostly why. And I also did a few rereads, but I also read some really thick books as well. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. So I read the After I Lost Airbender, The Promise. There's 3 parts. There's 3 parts in all the Avatar comics, and um, it was better than the ones I read last month, or the I read in November, because in November I read a couple. I read Team Avatar Tales and The Lost Adventures, and those I rated like 2 stars, I think. Actually, one I think I might have rated 3 stars because there was a couple that made me laugh because of Sokka. But yeah, um, the After I Lost Airbender ones aren't that great. I mean, I don't think they're terrible. I mean, I rated it 3 stars, but yeah, I mean, I maybe it's because I'm not a fan of Qatar and Aang, and I feel like there's many times where their relationship was right up front, and I wasn't okay with that because I don't like them as a couple. And then I reread Monster High, Who's That Girlfriend, which is book 2, and the Monster High Girlfriend series. And I love rereading that series. I also read books 3 and 4 this month in that series, which are girlfriends just want to have fun, and girlfriends till the end. I also read Ghoul It Yourself book. I haven't actually completed it, but the reason why I marked it was because there's a short story in it, and I read the short story, so I just marked it. But I haven't actually finished all the activities. But I read the short story, which that one turned out to be more disappointing than I was hoping. Like, spoiler for anyone that reads this, because I know I have one friend who's planning on reading these books, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone who plans to read these. But in there, the whole point at the end of book 4, there's this they leave it open for a potential 5th book by saying, because Rebecca's father was still missing, and he was potentially alive somewhere out there, but kidnapped or dissembled or something. And in book and this short story, it was the ghoul friends are going on this adventure to find him, and then it turned out, and then it just they didn't, and it's like the whole point was to find him, and then so what's the point of the short story? They didn't end up finding him. Like, they found where he was being kept, but the guy who was keeping him ended up letting him go because he befriended him, and so he could be anywhere in the world, and it's like that was just it upset me. I still enjoyed it itself because I love the relationship between the 3 girlfriends. So I still rated it 3 stars, but the other books in the series I rated 5 stars because they're my top 5 favorites, top 3 favorite series. Okay, I think I might have mentioned this, but it's the only series I would put high as Harry Potter and Seekers, because it's the only other series that I'd say I know backward and front, but that I've reread so many times. I know it like the back of my hand, like I do Harry Potter and Seekers. So I love the series, and I was very disappointed by the short story. I was so excited for it. I haven't been this disappointed in this story in a long time. Um, and then I have The Demon in the Wood, which I buddy read with Jessica from Lady Loves That Reads. Definitely check her out. And I was kind of disappointed in that too. Like it was very short, like 30 pages, and it's like I don't even know the point of it. I mean, it wasn't bad or anything either. I think I rated that 3 stars as well. And I was intrigued by the Darkling's Past. I just felt like it was too short. And yeah, so um, The Heroes of Olympus, The Lost Hero, book one, and I loved it. Rated 5 stars. Uh, I'm not gonna get too much into it because I did do a whole reading vlog on it, and I do plan to do a whole video just on the Heroes of Olympus series. So I'm just gonna say the books and what I rated them. I'm not going to. I'll link the vlog, because that's already uploaded. And then after Last Airbender, The Search, which is also 3 parts, has 3 more books that I read. Um, and That one was interesting because you finally get to find out more about Zuko's mom and stuff. Um, then Warriors Fire and Ice, which I've been waiting for so long to come. And it was a reread because I had read some of the early Warriors books. I'm trying to read those so I can get to the ones I haven't read yet. And then I also read Avatar: Last Airbender: The Rift, another 3-part comic, and it was alright. Um, like I said, most of these Avatar comics I rated 3 stars. Um, I'm trying to remember what that one's about. I think I remember. That's the one where Aang and Toph were fighting a lot, and they were kind of on opposite, not really opposite sides, but it was a complicated thing. Here's Olympus, Son of Neptune, which is book 2, and I rated that 5 stars. Then there's Avatar: The Last Airbender, Smoke and Shadow. I think I rated that 3 stars too. I don't remember what that one's about now. It feels like so long ago, even though it was just last month. And then Avatar: Last Airbender, North and South. That one I think I rated 3 stars too. Um, we got more. That one had less Aang in it, which and I like Aang as a character, but like I said, I don't like Katara and Aang as a couple. And I feel like it had a lot to do with Katara and Sokka's sibling relationship, which made me happy. There was another one. Which one was it? I think it was The Search that had a lot to do with their sibling relationship, which made me like it more because I feel like we don't get enough of it. Not just in the comics, but in the show. I feel like we didn't always get enough of their sibling relationship, and I absolutely loved it. They have probably their relationship is my favorite in the show and everything. And because in the Search they were paralleling Katara and Sokka's sibling relationship with Zuko and Azula's, and because Zuko and Azula don't have a good one. Where Katara and Sokka, as much as they tease and fight at occasions, they truly do love each other, and they would do anything for each other. Like I know there was like Azula had tried to attack both of them at one point. They both protected each other, and it was just really sweet. And I feel like we don't get that enough. Um, and I feel like in North and South, because they finally went back to their to the South Pole where they're from, which they haven't been to since they first left to do this adventure with the Avatar. And so, but so much has changed, and so I feel like we didn't get as much of them as we did in The Search, which was a little disappointing because it was from their home place. But yeah, and I still like that we got more of them. The Heroes of Olympus, Mark of Athena, rated at 5 stars. I loved all the Heroes of Olympus books. Like I fell in love with them. But you can get more into that in the vlog and once I do the review, because I have no idea when I'll do that. I'm gonna try to do it kind of soon because I don't want to forget everything. But yeah. What's next? After Last Airbender, Imbalance. Now I really like that one. And even though Qatar and Aang were both in it, I feel like they didn't focus much on their relationship, which made me happy. And I feel like that was the last of the Avatar comics, and I feel like that's a perfect introduction to the Legend of Korra TV show, mostly season 1, because in season 1 you find out there's all these conflicts between benders and non-benders, and here is when you first see the conflicts between benders and non-benders, which goes hand in hand with season 1 of Legend of Korra. So I thought that was very nicely done. And then the Heroes of okay, Heroes of Olympus, The House of Hades, another 5-star rating because loved it. Um, and then The Legend of Korra Turf Wars. Now that I loved. Like The Legend of Korra comics I'm liking more than the Avatar ones, even though there aren't as many Avatar or Korra ones as there are Avatar ones. But maybe it's because the main couple in it is Korra and Asami, and I do like them more than Katara and Aang. I mean, part of it is because they're older, so they have more mature relationship, kind of like Sokka and Suki. Why I like them so much, but yeah, and I really like them, and I know there's a lot of people in Legend of Korra said, uh, oh they didn't, it came out of nowhere, but no, it didn't. It was a Nickelodeon show back in 2012, so they had to be very very subtle. Like they wouldn't even let them kiss, even though the directors wanted them to kiss at the end. They didn't even have their first kiss until this comic, and like season 3 and 4 is when they started slowly building their relationship, and you can especially see it in season 4. Like season 3 is when they start moving their relationship to a romantic way, but it's very subtle. But then season 4, there are some more obvious hints. Like there are times where they blush at each other, and like tell me that you don't see that coming, at least during a rewatch. Like, or at least a rewatch, just pay attention in seasons 3 and 4. Like you can see their relationship moving to somewhere more romantic. But that's my little rant for the day. But yeah, and I do absolutely love uh I did love Turf Wars. I rated it 4 stars, highest I rated one of these comics so far, because I loved seeing more of their relationship and how sometimes they would butt heads because they both can be kind of hot headed. But I feel like with Korra and Mako, they couldn't work together. They were both very hot headed and they couldn't work together. And even though Asami could be hot headed at times, she also had more of a calming nature that Korra didn't have that could help whenever things did get too heated. She could calm things down. With Mako and Core, they're both way too hot headed to have ever worked. And I feel like they make a good team and they're able to help each other. And yeah, so and you also get to see them like come out as bisexual because they're both bisexual, and you just got get to see all these scenes. You got to see them come out under their terms and tell people when they were ready. And yeah, it was just really sweet. Then The Heroes of Olympus, the last book, Blood of Olympus, loved it. No surprise there. Rated 5 stars. Um, and then I read Percy Jackson and the Sword of Hades. What did I rate that? I think 4 stars. I really liked it. And then the Demigod Diaries, 4 stars. The Demigod Files, 4 stars. I think I rated those both 4 stars. And then Six of Crows, which was a reread, which I obviously had rated in the past 5 stars, is one of my top 5 favorite books, and I absolutely loved it. Um, because I always love rereading these. And yeah, because I have a video planned, so keep your eyes out for it about Six of Crows. I'm doing some research on the Crows and the Shadow and Bone TV show, so look out for this special video plan I have planned. But yeah, those were all the books I read in December. It was a lot. It doesn't seem as much, but each comic is in 3 different parts, so it's 3 different comics to one story. So it's a lot more than it seems. But yeah, I'm very happy with myself, and I got to 100 books. So I'm very happy about it. I'm gonna be. I had already set this year's goal to 100 because if I'm gonna see if I can actually do it again. Because I finally got to 100 books, and I'm gonna see if I can do it and actually get to like be 100 of 100 instead of 164. Let's see if I can do it. Wish me luck. I'll probably need it. But yeah. So thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment how your reading in December went. I'd love to know, and I'll talk to you guys next time.